Good morning. This is Otero, the president of the Global Trade Chamber and the co-founder of the 100 Successful Women in Business Network. We are so excited to be starting the year with some great events. We just finished our Women Business Expo and conferences in Miami. We had ladies from several states, several countries. It was fantastic. We celebrated International Women's Day, and I'm going to introduce shortly a very special guest that was part of that event. Here presenting the Success Story Show that is produced by the Global Trade Chamber and also by the 100 Successful Women in Business Network. I'm going to introduce now the CEO of the Global Trade Chamber and the founder of the 100 Successful Women Network around the globe, Miss Maria Renee Davila.
Thank you, Al. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. We are super excited about presenting the show every Friday, every week, actually, and be able to have special guests. And during 30 minutes, we can actually share time, share experience, and share important information that our guests are bringing every week for us. And today is nothing more than a special day because we have a lady, like Al said, but I'm going to let Al to introduce her because I was impressed with her experience. I was impressed when I saw her at the event. She was one of our speakers. So go ahead, Al. Tell me, who is she?
Welcome to no other than Miss Nataliia Noble. We're going to give you more information about her, some videos from her presentation, some other things. Let me tell you a little bit about Nataliia. Nataliia is originally from Ukraine, and she has come here to conquer the United States with her husband, a great gentleman. I had the pleasure of meeting him, Andriy Noble. I don't know about the pronunciation, but Nataliia can fix it. Nataliia is a consultant and CEO and co-founder of NaN Consulting, who specializes in immigration and, more important, cybersecurity, one of the biggest topics in the world. And we had somebody actually hack our network 2 days ago, right, Maria?
Absolutely,
so our network
yes.
was a mess. The website was a mess, and we were sending spam emails from our email. So anybody can be hit. And we had a technical team working on for 2 days fixing the problem. So if you don't have Nataliia and her husband on your side before you get hacked, then you're in trouble. One of the things that they're focusing on is networking and connecting is extremely important. But if you're not doing it safely with cybersecurity, you don't know who you're connecting with, right, Nataliia? Anywhere in the world. You have no clue. So, Nataliia, welcome.
Hi, everybody. I am Nataliia Noble. I am an owner and co-founder of some businesses, jointly with my husband, Andriy Noble. We have a NaN Consulting LLC, a non-profit organization, YK Center of Learning and Mental Health, and I am managing the companies. We have a lot of connections and business partners around the world. I am an immigration specialist, and also I am the CEO of Cooper Management LLC here in Florida. We just moved to Florida a couple months ago, and that's why we were there on this event last Friday. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
So, Nataliia, how come you said that you moved recently from Florida? So where
to Florida. To Florida.
To Florida. Where you were living before?
I lived 1 year in Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts. Wow, big change with the weather. Yeah. I remember when I was in Boston.
Yeah.
I was in Boston for, I think it was a spring. It was not even summer. It was a spring, but definitely was not winter. Yeah. I was freezing. I always remember that. I don't know, but, I guess your body has to get used to the weather. But how you see the change? Because it's a drastic change in terms of the weather and even everything, right? Because it's a different state.
Yeah, I prefer this warm weather here in Florida. That's why we are here.
Good.
I'm sure. And the other comment I was going to make is that it's impressive the fact that you're managing different companies. How come you manage mental health and then you go to security, but also you do immigration? So let's talk about these three areas. And I would like to start with the mental health. So what is the mental health about? What type of service you provide?
We created a nonprofit organization in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago when I just moved from Ukraine here to the United States. And I could not work because I was waiting for work permit. And that's why we created a nonprofit, because I had to do something. I don't like sitting at home and nothing to do. Why we created this nonprofit organization? Because we saw with my husband that around the world, all families with the kids, they have the same problem. Our children are always sitting on phones. They stop communicating with everybody, and we decided we need to change it. And the most important, each family need to change it from their side. Relatives need to speak more to their kids and spend more time to them. And my husband, he created one application. Now we starting this startup and looking for a sponsor or investor on this application. And it will be global application about mental health. Kids will use it for no one only reason to join the time. It will be as psychologist sites. We have a team of psychologists around the world who will create questions to them, because when children come back from school, they not always can share with their relatives about the problems at school. And they need something. Then what's the first they are usually doing when come back from school? They take in their phones and sitting. It's no nice, because they forget to communicate with relatives. But when we take their phones, they will be very upset. It don't do trauma for their psychosystem. We decided that we need to switch something more useful. And this application will use some methods and mechanism algorithm when they will see some pictures, video, or listen to sounds, and it will help them to relax, meditate, and it will be a psychologist online who will talk to them.
Unfortunately, that's very interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Natalie, now that you mentioned about the bullying, like you hear every day bullying, the cyberbullying, but also the bullying that's still happening at schools. Recently, I heard the news about some case in, remember the place, but there was this girl that was being bullied, and then the next day she killed herself. Mm-hmm. Now it's like a big, it's in the news everywhere, and that is traumatic, because you still hear every day about the bullying that is happening at schools, cyberbullying that is happening every day.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that affects a lot of teenagers and children. And the other thing I was going to point out that you mentioned is the fact that when some kids, when a kid is actually being bullied by somebody at school, that's exactly what happened. They don't speak out. They don't say anything, and they don't communicate that to the parents. And I have the experience from somebody that is very close to me that told me what was happening to him. But I don't see him often. And then when he shared that information with me, I said, why you didn't say that to your parents? And he said, oh, I just don't want to, I don't want to concern them. I just don't want to make a big deal about it. So I said, what? This is wrong. You need to speak out, and you need to tell what is happening. What you just mentioned is so true, that they stay quiet, and that's why bullying is still happening.
Yes, and also how everybody knows now about situation in TikTok, that the United States government want to do changes in this social media. And we don't like TikTok also, but in China, they who is owner of TikTok, they have their personal TikTok, and they control what's inside this TikTok. And in our application, it will be everything through filters, because we cannot produce videos what will be not allowed to kids. It must be it must be go through psychologists, relatives, and kids will trust this application more, I think. It will be not control mental health, but it will be as a friend to children.
That's amazing. Another thing that I see, Natalie, is the fact that there's kids on the video games all the time. They get to don't realize what reality is anymore. So when somebody gets killed or their blood is everywhere, it's like to them, it's like, okay, so what? Because they see it all the time on these video games.
Yes.
Even when the kids lose their minds and they go kill somebody, it's because they're always on technology, so they lost touch with reality. That's what I think. And that is a big social problem that the government's doing absolutely nothing about. So if you're
Yes.
coming up with an app to help that, it is so valuable and important, right, Maria? This is a tough time for
Well,
children.
yeah, we're living on, in a very tough time, but I believe that this kind of violence that these kids are, encountered, or maybe they are being part of, is not necessarily because of the video games they watch. Because I remember when I was a children, I didn't play too much with video games because I didn't have the access to video games.
Yes.
But I remember that, other kids or maybe my brothers, they were playing video games and they were very violent. And even the cartoons, the cartoons, they were not necessarily quiet. They were also a little bit, hard to see, but they were not violent. So I think it's the society in the society that we're living is the families, the way you are being raised. I think it's also part of the problem, the family, how you are being raised in your house. Do you have a parent? Do you have mom and dad that is, watching you? They are taking care of you, or you are just being raised by your own? And also the environment that you have around you, like your friends, who are well, in this case, will be your friends, right? Like the friends that you have are good kids or not, or they are influencing somehow in a negative way to you. So I think that there's several factors, not just the video games. Yes, I agree with you, Al, that there's video games that are very crazy right now. Like my kid is watching a video game that I don't know how to prevent it anymore, but I get to a point like I'm not gonna prohibit him to use the video, but I'm gonna control him, because there's some videos that I don't understand. Like, I don't know if you heard about this piggy. So it's like with blood and everything. I said, you're only 7 years. How come you're having even access to this? And I don't really know how, but the technology is everywhere. Even if you try to hide technology from your kids, somehow they're going to see it at any other place. So instead of hiding things, I think we need to monitor, teach them, and control what they do. But getting back to your comment, Al, I think it's several factors that involve the violence in kids now. What do you think, Natalia? Natalie. Why do you say Natalie, Al? It's Natalia.
Yeah, Natalia. And also I want to add that when we start buying phones for kids, the children and relatives became separately. It's no nice. It's easier to mom or dad buy phone to their child and spend time by their own. And the child doesn't have attention from their family members, and that's why they sit in phones. I asked my son one day, I asked, why are you trying to play game when we are going to the golf or go outside? Because they are my friends. I said, they are no real. Go to the yard and find real friends. He said, no, they are real. And he communicated with somebody, we didn't know with whom. And my husband, since that he is cybersecurity, tried to check who it was. It was the man, no boy.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and we
Wow.
decided to check everybody, each connection, who are from that side, because everything can happen and can finish badly. But sometimes some application useful for kids, they can teach them, learn. But if we know that children always to connect to bad guys, bad kids, because they're interested in something new experience. And total control is not good, but middle control from both sides, it's okay. And we control them through other application. We choose some channels what we agree that they will see what no. But the most important thing, you cannot control everything. The most important that everybody need to talk to their children, be sincerely, and ask them that their children need to share with everything, and relatives, it's not enemy, it's their friend. And later kids will have support from their relatives.
That's true. That's true. The communication is kind of important.
Yeah.
But let's move from this mental health to the cybersecurity. So the cybersecurity you mentioned is the application, or you are doing something else as a company?
No. Cybersecurity, it's provided by husband. He is a cybersecurity specialist. He has in company a lot of deals. I cannot tell you directly what he's do because he is not here today. I can tell you about my business and deals, how I manage companies. I'm a CEO of our joint company, NaN Consulting, and we have two branches. I'm as in immigration specialist, and he is a cybersecurity specialist.
Oh, I see. So let's talk about immigration. When you mean the immigration specialist, you help people to do the paperwork, or what type of immigration?
When I moved here, I already was immigration specialist, but in Europe. I did all paperwork from start, work permit, green cards, but no green cards, residence cards for all foreigners in European Union. I was certified there, and I had big experience work there with foreigners more than 6 years. When I moved here after start the war by program U4U, what's the first I decide that I need to be as a migration specialist here also, but I had to learn these skills, and I was invited to work to one non-profit organization. I will not use this name. It was in Rhode Island, and I liked work with foreigners. And later, my life a little bit changed. I was pregnant with my small baby and could not work, and I studied. I finished my school and got my immigration specialist certificate. And we opened company, and I have a lot of clients, not only Ukrainians, from different countries, and I like it because I came through this all way because I'm immigrant also, and can help also Americans move to Europe, and all foreigners move here. And I like it. And in our company, my husband, he is doing his work, cybersecurity. I'm doing my work, immigration paperwork. And I can be a representative person for the people to creating businesses and do.
Natalia, you left Ukraine when the war started. How soon or how after the war started?
I came here in May after start the war, and I'm in the United States almost 2 years.
Oh, okay. Because so, but did you have any experience being there in Ukraine when the war started? Because sometimes we don't really know what is happening there. We just see what the news says, but not necessarily what the reality is there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, reality. Yeah.
I'm so thankful that you are here to share the story with us. I believe that first of all, I want to congratulate you because in the very short term, you have been accomplished a lot of things, by starting these companies, moving moving on and trying to help people, not just from Ukraine, but also from everywhere. So that's a very noble cause. And I think it matches what you do with your last name, right? Noble.
Yes.
But,
Very noble.
tell us more about Ukraine. What as far as you can tell us, when you were living there. So what was happening back in that time?
My mom and dad and grandmother still living there. It's very painful for me. That's why I'm working hard, because when I'm not working, I'm a little bit depressed and bad thoughts in my head. And I decided never give up. Whatever what I can do, I will. I need to earn money. We jointly work with my husband, and when I left Ukraine and I was in Poland, my husband, he's American citizen. He came to me to Poland, and we help other Ukrainians move to the Poland. I help to 33 women with the children move from my region, Dnipropetrovsk region, to Poland and other countries in Europe, Germany, and different. Because it was my pain. I cannot help physically, but we did donation to them, help with moving, find for them houses, whatever what we could to do. But my mom and dad decided don't leave their country, because they said, we will not move. We are patriots. Somebody else need to move. I will not use this country name, and they believe that will be peace in the end, and they are still there, but situation is not good. They are sitting without heat, electricity and water, sometimes in turn on, turn off, and I cannot be there because I need to protect my kids, and they must be live in safe country with my husband. But we help another way. I work, earn money, and we help Ukraine. In April, we are going to American Coalition in Washington, D.C. We registered there, and we will help with government to help Ukraine.
Al?
Very good. Yeah, that's amazing. So there's no end in sight right now to the war?
Repeat, please. I could not understand.
No, there's no end anywhere in sight soon for the war?
I don't know. I don't want to comment it because I think it will not finish soon.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
What is for me very impressed to see is that there's citizens, Ukraine citizens, that like your parents, they have the choice and the option to leave the country, but they decide to stay.
Yes.
To stay because they wanna fight and they want to stay because of the country. So that is something that you don't value often or you don't see often, but it's something that I definitely admire, because the first thing you say, okay, I have to get out, I need to leave, right?
Yeah.
But when you see people like your parents say, I'm going to stay, that is very admirable.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Very good. I think there's a lot to learn from your story for everybody, because people that have never been outside of the US, they don't have a good feel of what's going on around the world. But then when they hear your story, maybe they can appreciate more what they have in the United States. Like you said, kids today don't really value and appreciate what they have in the United States, because they don't have any idea until they hear from you or your son what's going on in your home country, that they say, wow, we're really lucky and blessed to be in the United States, because it's not easy in Venezuela, it's not easy in Cuba. There's a lot of turmoil around the world. So you're a testimony to what can be done if you're going through a lot of pain and suffering from your country and to come here. So you're an inspiration. Very, very good job.
Natalia, one question before the war started. What were the sectors in Ukraine that were more popular in business? Like what they were good at, technology or commerce?
In Ukraine, a lot of specialists in each area. My husband worked with a lot of guys, young students and people from Ukraine. They're very nice specialists. The most popular cities where they have nice universities. And in the Dnipropetrovsk region, the city is Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporizhia, it's Zaporizhian region. In Kiev, also Lviv, we can find a lot of perfect specialists, and also Kharkiv. It's very popular, our technical university, and there had a lot of perfect specialists. And
Technology?
yes, technology, aviation technology, IT, cybersecurity also. And I appreciate that, guys, because when the war started, they didn't leave the country also. And
Wow.
they do cybersecurity for our country, for my motherland.
That's very good.
Because there are a lot of attacks from other sides.
We had a young lady from Ukraine that spoke in what city? Philadelphia, Maria, or San Francisco?
I think it was San Francisco.
Yeah. And she's from Ukraine, but she was an artificial intelligence expert.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she worked, remember, she spoke and she worked for Tesla, and I believe for another major corporation, but she was a international expert on artificial intelligence. Wonderful young lady. So she also came here, overcame a lot, but she's now working for major companies like Tesla with artificial intelligence. So you definitely have some very talented people from Ukraine coming here and making. I think the other company was Disney World. So she was very uh, experienced and very valuable to these major corporations in the U.S. So I congratulate you, ladies, for doing such good things. So the technology is definitely powerful in Ukraine.
Yeah. I work in Ukraine as journalist. It was my first work when I was a student, and later I work in government position for government for education, and I appreciate my work. I love it, but later life my changed, and I had to move. And I value now each day, and very thankful to my husband that he supports me, children, and also Ukrainians who are there, and we jointly do everything.
Do you have like a Ukrainian community in Florida?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. That's good.
We went to the church. I searched in Google Ukrainian Orthodox Church, and 1 week after we moved here, it was before Christmas, we went to the church. I met there are a lot of Ukrainian women with the children and their families. Yeah, and communicate.
I'm glad to hear that. So, you're not alone. You have other Ukrainians here, but also you have a lot of people like us that are here to help you grow your business. And the most important, to connect you with the world. So this is just the beginning, Nataliia. Again, we congratulate you for your accomplishments, but also for being part of the Success of Women in Business Expo and conferences. You did a great presentation with your husband. We hope to see you soon in the next event, and that you can start, traveling with us in this roadshow, encouraging, teaching, and educating people in not just cybersecurity, but also mental health and how we spend. The information is so important in today's society. So we need to educate our children. That's for sure. Because our children are not the present; they are the future, and we need to take care of them, right? So thank you so much again. This was a fabulous interview. And I believe it's going to be the second time, because we need to do another interview. Yes. Right, Al? So this is just the beginning. The next one, we can also invite your husband to be part of the show.
Thank you so much.
We're very happy to meet you.
And your husband, he was a great gentleman. I had a lot of fun talking to him. He's such a good guy.
Yes, thank you so much. I love your team because we went to a lot of events, but your event was perfect, very friendly and nice energy there.
Well, it's people like you that make it special, Natalia. Natalia.
How do
Get
you
it
say it in
right.
Ukraine? Natalia or Natalia?
Natalia.
Natalia.
Natalia,
See?
yes.
You need to pronounce
Very-
correctly, Natalia.
Natalia.
I'm working on it.
Natalia.
I'm a
That's why
Colombian.
I have in my name double I, Natalia.
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 So how do you say see you soon in Ukraine?
До зустрічі.
I love it. Beautiful.
До зустрічі. Побачимось наступного разу. See you next time.
Oh, wow. I love it.
That's beautiful.
All
I
right.
love
So
the
see
way
you
it
next
sounds.
time. Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
wonderful
Thank you.
week.
Bye.
Thank you for your time. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.